All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. My name is Ray, last name is Reynolds. Please write that down, get a tablet and a pen. Do not record, do not take pictures, you're not allowed to. But the bottom line is we got to get it here. Everybody needs to know how to get to the $1 million dream. Let's write down today's date, July 22nd, 2021. I call that blackjack. Now, the reality is pretty simple. Let's write down the end of the year. Now, this is not easy, but we're going to rebuild you. And what we're going to do is show you exactly what I did to get to that front door of one of the mansions, one of the yachts, one of the Ferraris, Lamborghinis in the building too. Everybody can do this. It's not hard. It just basically takes some time. $1 million dream. Bottom line is, let's do this. What if I wrote you a check today for $1 million? I wrote you a check. My first question would be, what bank account are you going to put it in? Now, this is the biggest mistake people make every day. See, how you receive money matters every step of the way. See, if you put it in your bank account, personal account, you keep $375,000, the rest goes to the IRS. If you put it in a corporation absorbs all the money, pays all the bills, you get a little paycheck and you break even. It's pretty simple to do, and you pay tax on the leftover. If there's any leftover at all, you got to learn to play. We got the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Winning that battle. You see, today we got to choose. Are you a procrastinator? You put off something yesterday, today, till tomorrow too? We got to stop that. See, time, I don't control it, neither do you. But you know what's really weird? I basically can't wait and waste a second of the day. See, you never know when it's over. I died in 2009 of swine flu pneumonia, pandemic number 9, now we got 19. So homeless, I started that way, stealing and begging off the pier, eating out of a trash can too, but I got to million to billion. Let me show you exactly what I got to do. You see, when I was 7.5 years old being used and abused, guess what I did? I listened to their poker game every Wednesday night. The grown-ups would go blah, blah, blah. Well, they did say a corporation's a legal person. I wrote it down, I circled it 10 times. They told me I was weird. I went to the library the next day, next to the Torrance Police Department. I asked the lady inside the library, what does this mean? She said, here's a microfiche's book. Okay. She said, here's a microfiche, here's a book. I read the book. I got an IQ off the chart, total recall on most things. I write with both hands, talk at the same time too. And you know what I wanted to do? Get the blueprint, rules, and tools. Sorry to say, it didn't exist. And you can't find it today unless you listen to me. I'll give you the tools and the rules too. Let's connect the dots. Now, if you have a corporation today, you've been doing nothing since you set it up, as they say 9 out of 10 people do. Let's give it life. Let's get it a blueprint today. So let's understand something, all right, right away. We're going to be winning that battle starting today. Ultimate goal, my first corporation was Helping Hand Industries, by the way. Got $100,000 in the mail, got named in the movie Dave, and then I got to play at 14. I got my Lamborghini too. What'd you get? You see, you got choices today. Getting past go, I think you're kind of stuck. Can you write down getting past go? I'll show you some goodies. Lamborghini collection, the Duffys, the 6 mansions. I'll show you I broke the record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981. I just wanted to prove white men do jump and stupid people say we don't. Then I parked my race boat in my backyard. Where you park yours? Helicopter. Don't forget about the largest U-Dock in Huntington Harbor. And the yachts and the Ferrari too. Now, I don't understand why you didn't get this, but the reality is I had God and me. That's it. Can you write down Ray's rules today, please? I'm going to give you some rules and tools how to play, and I'm going to offer to do the work for you anyway. July 4th, 2009, we took out one of the yachts from the backyard with a group of people. All right, the next day I got swine flu pneumonia, and I got to die at 5:41. One of the worst cases in history, by the way. Got to the other side, but I was given a choice, stay in peace or go back that day. Well, since I heard my wife scream her head off after the doctor said he's going to die, I said go back that day. You see, the lack of knowledge is why people bring the pain home every day. They tend to bring it time after time again. Now, you could have learned to play since you're 18, but I'll show you how to play starting today. So let's understand something. It's very simple to do. It's like John and Mary here. They work hard. They went to school, got their degrees, got their job. They bought their house, and everything's going right. When they started their business, they refinanced their house, sucked out all the money, started the business, and now they're broke and lost their house. They live with in-laws too. You see, when you take the money to start that business from your family, it tends to hurt things and bring the pain home. Our goal today is to make sure you understand, not to feel that pain again, not go in the wrong direction, and use the rules and tools that God gave me to give you. I'm hoping you're going to pay attention today. All right, I hope these are turned on. You got your tablet and pen ready to go too. Godfather of Credit, I got that nickname in 2008 after I brought in $3.6 billion from my clients, by the way. Can you write down credit rebuilding, please? You see, I want to do one thing. I want you to understand. I've got to rebuild everybody's credit to make them a qualified CFO. I got to add history too. We're going to look at the Federal Trade Commission, federal law. It says credit repair is a scam, not allowed to collect money up front. It's just simple to understand. Getting to know me, pretty simple to do. I'm the guy that trained Ken Yarborough years ago. He was security chief at TRW and Experian, by the way. Maybe today you'll let me train you just a little bit. Why don't you write down Credit Services Act? That way you can get a copy of that page I just showed you too. It also is going to show you about the Credit Repair Organization Act, where it says attorneys can't do credit repair. What are you supposed to do now? You see, your credit's not broken. You cannot repair it. You have to rebuild it. There's a lot of science behind that too. Today we can build a relationship, you and me, and I like to do all the work for you anyway and get you all the money. I want to keep my 100% success rate, by the way. Ultimate goal, the information provided for you right there is from Federal Trade Commission. So what do we get to do? Well, first of all, I've been doing this for 43 years. I have 17 million clients, the $1 Million Dream, 16 billionaires too. Every seminar, workshop, and boot camp, you're stuck with me. I don't pass the buck. Reality is pretty simple to do. I'd like to be your coach for at least 90 days if you allow me to. But I want to do the work for you. There's 4 ways to get to millionaire status. Number 1, we can win the lottery. We can basically inherit the money. We can get a raise, or you can allow me to rebuild you my way. I guarantee you get to the $1 Million Dream if you allow me to do what I do best, to rebuild you right away. Ultimate goal, there's only 1,000 steps to go. You see, there's no more than that as long as you follow through. Now, the bottom line is let's give you the first 25 steps today. You got your tablet and pen ready to write it down again? First of all, we're going to go to raisecredit.com, number 1. Get your credit reports for free. Clickety-clack, give me the report numbers right away. They're in the right-hand corner. From there, what you're going to do is let me basically do this for you. That's step number 1. Now, the next thing I want you to write down, a word. It's called why. I want you to start asking people when they ask you to do this or that too, ask the word why. All right, I've been doing that since I was a little boy. Like I'm going to ask you why you have a Social Security card today. Why do you have an SSN? Pull it out of your personal wallet. Let's read it together. Let's understand step number 2. It says do not laminate, do not use for ID purposes. And on the actual card it says Property Assessment Administration, not you. And I'm going to show you exactly why you have that card today too. Ultimate goal, in 90 working days, your credit score with me will go up, and away. I want to get you to a 750 and guarantee that, by the way. Ultimate goal, that's step number 3. No case goes past 180 days unless you mess up on you. Ultimate goal is pretty simple to do. Report numbers, we analyze the 12 different acts we have to use. Go back to the creditor is the funnest thing to do. From there, I might ask you to negotiate a debt or two. Next thing from there, we're going to use the legal action method if we have to. Kind of like when I sued Chase Bank years ago. And I beat up their president and got another $5,000 for them wasting my time too. You have more rights than you think you do. Ultimate goal today, we're going to play and you're going to learn the rules. Now, let's look at Credit Karma because we know it's free. It's right here. I took a picture to show you I got that person. 157 points in 45 working days. Now, rapid scoring I created with Harold Stokes, Ken Yarborough years ago with all the mortgage companies. Several years ago, I came up with a program called Rapid Refresh. It tends to block crap as I'm popping credit for you. Rebuilding is kind of fun, but understand there's some work to be done. For instance, I'll show you a 487. I got him a card with basically no secure card. It's an unsecured card, by the way, with no credit. From there is a 586, got him a card too. No credit at all. They had a 480, then I got him $3,000. They're on their way to 750, by the way. Ultimate goal, they got a collection account. They're late on their basic car payment. Still got them $3,000 right away. And their credit score is a 571. So the ultimate goal is pretty simple. If you allow me to rebuild your credit and do a rapid rescore, I can build it up pretty quick within about 90 working days. Ultimate goal is getting that $750. Normally we charge $998, but you're on a webinar today with me live, so you're going to get a little bit of a discount too. Now on Saturday I have 7 to 8 classes live, and you get to go to those if you want to. One class I'd tell you to go to is at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's called Education Analyzation, but you don't have to go unless you want to, if you want to learn some more too. 90 working days. But remember, no case goes past 180 days unless you make that happen because of you kind of messing up too. So the next thing is this. I'm going to give you a $1,000 Visa card. Guaranteed. Alright, the bottom line is to let you reimburse yourself. Also on the webinar, I give you half price. I want you to understand, for $499, you're getting a written guarantee, a $750, a $1,000 card. The work's going to be done in 90 working days, no more than 180 days, period, as long as you Zelle during the webinar. Ultimate goal, written money get back, guarantee. Ultimate goal, hackers are hacking credit cards, they're hacking credit bureaus, and they're blackmailing companies and ransoming their money too. So I'm going to tell you about Zelle. If you've never heard it before, banks and credit unions love Zelle. You know why? There's no way they can hack it. It's a way to pay a bill or transfer money immediately. That way you can protect your privacy too. So the bottom line is this. All right, when you do a Zelle to me, you use my name, Ray Reynolds, and then instead of a phone number, you use the email address, ray@rayscredit.com. The other thing is, if you want, you can do a bank transfer deposit. We bank at Chase and B of A. You might want to take a picture of that page today, so that way you can sell your $499 or deposit it too. Now the next thing is the next step I got to give you. You see, everybody seems to add themselves to the national mailing list. Unfortunately, you don't know you did that too. That's how you get all that junk mail. Half the robocalls too. Can you write down this phone number, please? Go get the tablet and pen you should have did in the beginning of the day. It's 888-567-8688. By the way, that's step number 4. I want you to opt out for 5 years, please, when you call that number today. Ultimate goal is pretty simple. I want you to plan the problem. If I talk to you, you're going to tell me someone knocked you down, got in your way, took it away from you too. Probably a friend and family member, by the way. Now, I need you to write down safety credit. Can you write it down, please? Each one of these cards is $50,000 apiece. Here's the problem about personal credit. I can't write off the interest rate of the credit card. And I want you to take your cards in your personal wallet today and put a sticky. I want you to write down the limit, 29%. No one tells you the truth, but I'm going to tell you the truth today, and you'll hear things from me you never heard before too. The moment you take a credit card past 29%, you drop the score, you get stuck, you can't get any more. It's just the truth. So we have to keep that discipline today too. Now, the line of defense in your city today, you got banks like Chase, B of A, Wells Fargo. In grocery stores, they shut down some locations. They bankrupt locations, wrote off on their taxes, and by the way, they got a tax credit. But you, they're playing the game, but not you, because you like bringing the pain home to your family too, right? As of today, you're going to put a sticky on your cards right away. We're going to make sure you don't bring the pain home again. Please write down, never bring the pain home ever again. Next thing is that's step number 5. Now, the only one making your credit score going up and down is you. Remember, you got to maintain the balance and maintain, don't go past 29%. If you do, you drop your score, you get stuck, you can't get any more. It's just the truth. From there, the reality is when someone loses their job, has an emergency, what do? They seem to do the same thing, everyone. They run out of time, they run out of money, then they jack up their credit in 42 days. By the way, you're using the wrong money in the first place. We're going to teach you how to play the game. I want to repackage your house, your car, your bank account. I'm just showing some of my goodies too. Ultimate goal, I built credit for my cat years ago. All right, and when I pulled out that stunt, remember, cats have 9 lives. As of today, so will you. Inc. magazine is pretty simple to look at today. Let's look how to finance anything by using plastic. So what does that mean? A corporation gets to write off the interest rate to credit card and the line of credit. It gets to finance itself and write it all off. If a division screws up, it writes up that off too. In other words, you have nothing to lose and everything to win if you pay attention today too. Ultimate goal, let's pretend right now you need $5,000 now. What are you going to do? Go ask your friends and your family in the bank. They say no. They say the average person wastes $50 every other day. Is that true about you? If I take this $5,000 card in my hand right now and I had to max it out, the payment is $50 a month. So what the average person wastes every other day, they can maintain a safety credit card and not bring the pain home anyway. The next thing they say, you waste $140 a week. If that's true, that's $600 a month. If I max out one of these cards today, the payment is $612.26. We might as well sell, common sense in a bottle of water. So if the average person is wasting that, and I could have used a $50,000 card and bought 2 pizza restaurants with a drive-through, why don't we stop wasting money and never bring the pain home again, please? Ultimate goal, step number 6. You see, you got a choice today. I want you to reach all your goals. I want you to believe in yourself too. I believe in God and I believe in me. When I broke that record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981, again, I just wanted to prove white men do jump and stupid people say we don't. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people have an opinion, say don't do this or that too. Unfortunately, I don't want you to listen to them. I want you to listen to me, and I want you to learn how to follow through. See, God gave you a gift and a dream. Why don't you see it, believe, and go get it? It's what I've done since I was 4 years old. Now, understand, you got an SSN. That means you got your job. So that's why we had to get an SSN, Social Security card, to get a job. We got our first paycheck, and then we went, what? You see, they took their cut before you got your leftover. So you worked for the company and the IRS too. Then they tax you till you're dead and get you stuck in a probate too. Remember, the IRS, public records for you. See, here's the problem. We only get one SSN. That's it. That means we're all a bunch of ducks. Quack, 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 quack. I don't like being a duck. I want another chance too. So today we get one SSN to try to win. All right, I'm going to show you the alternative. You don't have to bring the pain home ever again. But again, you got to remember, you got your SSN, you got your Spirit, and your Treasure and Equifax too. The moment you jacked up the cards past 29%, you dropped your score, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more. It's just the truth. Stick you behind the cards, please. Never bring that pain home again. The reason you got an SSN, another reason too, we're the collateral for the United States of America Incorporated. Ever since Nixon took the gold standard out. So now I want you to write down Ray's rules one more time. But this time I want you to write down $100,000. I want you to make sure you understand use 29%. This would give you $71,000 safety credit case blanket the fan, loss of job or pandemic. The money to feed the family up to 2 years. But unfortunately most people, they take the money and credit from the family, roll the dice and hurt the family. Instead of that, they're bringing the pain home. Can you start using the right money, please, and never bring the pain home again? Can you write it down, please? You see, you got to learn how to play. And that's what I'm going to try to teach you today. Raise rules again and again, too. Ultimate goal, step number 7. What do we get to do? Now, I know we all got a sad story. My first coma, I was 5.5. I was told I was never going to walk again. But God said, get up, and I got up, too. My last coma was 2009. I got to die. But I got a choice. They said, stay in peace or go back that day. I said, go back. There's my yacht, my race boat, and my U-Dock too. There's the address. Check it out. See, I'm from Show Me State. The reality is I want to see what you got and want to go get it too. HN1 kills me and I get to come back and help you. Ultimate goal, walk around with an oxygen tank for 5 weeks. I did put my score back to an 820. Then I popped another credit card again. I want you to understand something. Can you please write down 5 closet divisions? I have a backup for a backup and a backup for a backup too. This is what I'm trying to convince you to do. 5 closet divisions, by the way. So the ultimate goal, fight through the pain, pull out a closet division, do it again and again too. If the bank can do this, the grocery store, rich and famous people can do this, so can you. All right, why did you back yourself in a corner? You didn't know how to play. As of today, you're going to know how to play a little bit more too. Ultimate goal, we're going to play and not bring the pain home ever again. You could have started that at 18, by the way. Ultimate goal, we got the Constitution and Bill of Rights. Are you winning that battle? You're going to start winning starting today. Ultimate goal, me, I was used and abused as a kid, and that kind of sucks. I didn't like stealing or begging off the pier, eating out of a trash can too. Ever since I was a little boy, I wake up at 2:25. I always drop to my knees and say, thank you, Jesus, for another day. Then I go put myself in check by looking in the mirror. I stare at myself for 2 minutes. I ask 2 questions. And I ask out loud so I can see myself in my eyes. Have I completed everything? Is there more to be done? The reality is simple. What I believe you've done is you have an idea or a dream. You go to your friends and family and ask them what they think to encourage you. Instead, they interrupt you and say, you got to do this and that too. Do yourself a favor. Don't let anything cloud your direction. That's step number 8. Ultimate goal, God's delays have never been God's denials. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get the money. Is that okay? Is it okay if I give you up to $100,000 of personal credit? Use it for safety? Okay if I give you up to $1 million of corporate credit, you get to write it all off too? See, I didn't like stealing and begging off the pier. I thought it sucked. We're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. All you got to do is realize, go back to the job you hate. It's okay. You know what they're going to do? Eventually they're going to fire you anyway. Then maybe you're going to deliver some pizza. I don't know. All I know since I was a little boy, it's called see it, believe it, go get it. Whatever I see, I believe it. I open the door because God opens the door. I pray and I go get it. It tends to work for me. I'll teach you how to work for you too. Step number 9. Sam's Club, grocery stores, banks. So 63 locations in California, they shut down 2 years before pandemic. Sam's Club, not counting the other 49 states. So they're allowed to close down a location, bankrupted, write off on their taxes and get a tax credit. And you tend to bring the pain home to your family too. Why don't we learn to play? You see, they're using a branch number, tax ID, and a subsidiary. I created for you, simple. We're going to use the division, and we're going to use the tax ID. See, until we get to the million, we don't worry about subsidiaries today. We get to learn how to play. But again, it's kind of like when you heard the city file bankruptcy. You heard one of those too, right? I'm the kind of person that tears everything apart. I want to understand how it works. Like the United States of America Incorporated sets up 50 states. All corporations, all states set up, and the cities are corporations too. See, they created their line of defense, but I told you to do it in the beginning today too. They even credited Chapter 9 bankruptcy, just in case they had to wipe out some debt and stay in business today too. You see, you get a bad day, you bring the pain home, that's not acceptable anymore. So remember today, please. All right, we're going to use and make sure we understand winning the battle. Our choice is simple. It's kind of like when Apple filed bankruptcy in '97. They were out of business. Mr. Bill Gates was indicted 4 times for being so damn smart. You know what did he do? He wrote a check for $150 million to Apple. Now they're worth trillions of dollars a day too. I want you to do some research and find out if factually verifiable today. I want you to Google the word bankruptcy. You'll see that this page comes up, says you got one SSN, we're all ducks. But then it says SS4, corporation, division, subsidiary, more. In other words, we have a fighting chance to play if we want to. Ultimate goal, that's step number 10. You see today we got an SSN equals a 1040. SS4 equals 1120. Line 10 there says banking and credit purposes. This is IRS public record for you. Reality is we don't always have to be a duck. We can learn to play if you want to. Ultimate goal again, beating and winning that battle too. We get to play. So remember, we get one SSN try to win. That makes us all ducks. But an SS4 gives us more chances to try and win. As long as we're trying, we're not dying. And if we're not trying, we might as well be dead. The ability to do this the right way. So let's understand, this is what I learned at 7.5. All right, it's not legal advice. It's chapter 18. Can we read it together, please? It says a corporation is a legal person may sue or be sued. Darn, I was looking for the blueprint, the instruction manual. I couldn't find it either. So I went back to the library almost every day till I was 9.5. All right, I created my own blueprint that works. It's called Ray's Rules. Understand today, we're going to be winning that battle starting now. Ultimate goal is up to you. Now, if you do the corporation thing, someone's going to ask you if you're a member of the Better Business Bureau. Now, they're a not-for-profit fraud, by the way. You got 10 million companies that will not be blackmailed by them. You want an A rating? It costs you $615. They sell them. All right, 2 for the price of 1. Bottom line is the BBB got busted. Google it. They were indicted as a fraud. It's chased out of the city, too. That's 2020 and CNN telling you the truth. We'll set you free. When I incorporated over 2019 Rich and Famous People, you know what they did? They got profit and nonprofit working in conjunction. It tends to be the way to do it. Now, I also set up a program for people coming out of prison because they got to be rebuilt too. After 6 months, Freeway Ricky Ross, after that, 6 months I rebuilt him to be a good CFO after 20 years in prison. I got him a gold and a platinum, paid over time up to $1 million. Would you like one or two? Thomas was in prison for 26 years. Took me 6 months to make him a CFO too. Now, last year his business did $2.4 million. He's in the dump truck business too. So the dump truck. So the reality is simple. Beat your doubt, run your race, get out of the way, let's repackage you. Step number 11 today. Bottom line is I got to make you the qualified CFO. Depends on your mess, what it takes. That's why it's 3 to 6 months usually, at the most. Getting past go. I'll show you God's gift, one of the mansions at the time. I parked the race boat and the yacht in the backyard. Where you park yours? Helicopter, one of the buildings, and Lamborghinis too. See, you get to learn to play, but you only have 4 ways to get to $1 million status. So millionaire status is simple. Win the lottery, all right, inherit the money, get a raise, or let me rebuild you starting today. There you go. But again, it's going to be up to you. You're going to have to pay attention as well. Now, when I wrote Winning the Game of Business 40 plus years ago, because I want to repackage America too. Ultimate goal, I was at the Bonaventure for 32 years every Wednesday night, 7 p.m., a line around the hotel, get a hold of me. I used to sell the Millionaires Founders Kit for $5,000. It's still online the same price today. With the sales team, what happens, because you get the 1,000 rules and tools, and you go to the workshop, play with me, the sales team sells it for about $1,000. Online with me now, what I always do is give you half price, $4.99. You Zell, we ship it right away. That's all you got to do. Ultimate goal, please, please, please protect your assets. All right, you see, you wrote a check the other day. You gave me a driver's license. Did your house get robbed the next day too? Please remember, I want you to use a P.O. box or mailing address on your driver's license. But you're a grown-up. Do what you want to do. I'd like you to use Ray's rules and never bring the pain home again too. Look up the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, please. You can protect your assets starting today. Step number 12. Now, when I created the rules and tools for divisions in '86, multiple functions, disconnect, isolate, incorporate, separate pieces, and cash credit per division. You see, what I want to do is play like the rich and famous people do in the cities and the banks and grocery stores do. What if I get you up to $1 million card paid over time? And if you allow me to set you up 9 divisions, all right, why don't I get you 9 more cards, 1 for each of those divisions too? Separate credit report. Wow. So I could create $100,000 to $1 million to $10 million of credit too. Piece of property per division. How about a franchise? So when rich and famous people lose a piece, they say have more pieces to play with too. Banks, grocery stores. So if I screwed up one accidentally or so, what would I do? Get rid of the bad piece, keep the good pieces, and never bring the pain where? Home. See, I wrote buckets of money, tax balance to become the bank too. Ultimate goal is pretty simple to do. We all can be winning the battle. Ultimate goal, let's look at your car today. You bought a car. You remember when you bought that car? You let the people in that dealership sweat you for hours on end? All right, you lost $5,000 up to 9 inquiries too? They gave you the piece of paper and they asked you right to your face, can you fill this out so we can pull your credit? And what did you do? You filled it out, handed it back, going, bah, bah, bah. We're a sheep. From now on, when you do an application, you sign the application. Next to it, you write down it allows 1 inquiry. You take a picture. You don't let this happen ever again. That's step number 13, by the way. Unfortunately, you're the registered owner of that car today, too. So remember today, please, if you did it my way, fleet price tax ID, under the division, it doesn't show up on personal credit reports, and it belongs to the corporation as a full write-off. But if you got a car today and you got a repossession too, the IRS can give you a 1099-C. Sorry to say you kind of screwed up again. But again, if you drive your car today registered to you, to the grocery store or the bank, a little bumpity bump, what's going to happen next? That person's going to scream their head off and act like they're going to die. Then they're going to ask you for driver's license, insurance, registration, please. See, now your heart falls out of your chest. Driver's license, really your home address? Well, that's up to you. The insurance on that car today, are you paying out of that paycheck? That's tax. You get the leftover and pay the insurance too? Don't they call that taxable income? But no matter what I say or do today, the car's registered to you. Sorry, that makes you a duck. Why don't you think? You got 44 attorneys on TV going, I'm number one, I'm number one. I wonder if one of them's going number two. But understand, registered owners should be a division, not you. That's if you want to try to make sure they get diddly squat. Why not? That's number 14. Ultimate goal. Every finance and lease company allows SSN, SS4. Should be a tax ID in the division. Now I tell you step by step how to do this in the goal setting every Saturday at 7 a.m. Show up, I'll show you how to do that too. Bottom line is you're stuck with me. And we're going to have some fun. I had 17 houses. I couldn't get number 18, no matter what I said to do. They all kept saying, loan to value problem. The moment I transferred them into the division, the loan to value problem went away. It freed up my credit report too. And I separate liability. Your paycheck, I believe, should be breaking even with your house payment too. Corporations, no matter how much money they bring in, as long as they pay the bills first, then they pay tax on the leftover. There's no leftover. Kind of like Amazon on that first $10 billion of profit. They pay no tax. You pay more tax than they do. Kind of like yesterday, they were giving him a bad time too. Just because he wanted to be like a little boy and go up in the spaceship and come back. All right, he got to go boom, boom, boom again too. Now don't say loophole because it does not exist. They pay property tax and gallon of gas too. The only difference is they're doing exactly what they're allowed to do under the IRS rules. Corporations don't pay tax, so they make a profit. So your choice is simple. Shut up and join them, or bitch and complain. You can join the club too if you want to. But that's up to you. So borrowed money is not taxable. Could you imagine if you figured out borrowed money is not taxable? You can go buy anything you want and not pay tax and play with it some more too. How about leveraging money into 3 times 5? See, you can learn to play if you want to, but that's up to you. All I know today, if I took a card like the Ink card here, 100,000, I take 50,000 off the card. I loan 5 people 10,000 apiece. I put a second on their house. I file a homestead blocker and UCC when a chattel mortgage. I just created income of $3,000 per. All right, so you know what's going to happen next? So all of a sudden, I get $3,000 income from coming back, but if they don't pay, I get their house too. And so after the payment, I create $2,449 positive cash flow. Credit's a tool. You can sell it and have some fun too. 5,000, 10,000, and more. So I created 40 years ago cash flow free at your time, if you want to. Now, Mr. Buffett, I love his father. I love him too. This man's great. He leverages everything. His 100 companies, his 10 favorite ones, he never used his own money. He uses borrowed money. It's not taxable. Then he transfers some stock too and gets it for free. All right? The man owns Ketchup, Geico, Coca-Cola, American Express, Duracell, Dairy Queen, Seas Candy, Fridge, Bridge Jewelry, and Fruit of the Loom. You know, you could be playing this game too if you want to, but it's up to you. Draw the 4 boxes in front of you, please. Corporation, 3 divisions. Let's write down line of defense, what I wrote basically in 86. If a division has a problem, we're going to disconnect, isolate, incorporate that division, separate from the good pieces. Because we're not bringing the pain home ever again, because we never had to. By the way, you should have started learning how to play at 18. I started at 9.5. Ultimate goals up to you. That's step number 15, by the way. So what do I get to do as an affiliate? I get to build you credit. I like to give you up to $100,000 in personal. Let's use it called safety. How about up to $1 million of corporate credit? You get to write all that off too. You get to have fun. But again, that's up to you too. It's kind of like when I always test myself and want to play. I trigger myself and I challenge myself too. I wanted my first Rolex years ago. I set up a division for jewelry. I got it wholesale price. They overnighted the watch to me. From there, I don't have to pay for 30 days, so I put a loan on a watch I did not own. I paid the invoice when it came in. Then I took the extra money, put it in the bank to maintain the payment on the watch I did not own. By the way, at the end of the day, I got it for free. You want to play? It's kind of fun. The bottom line is you never had to bring the pain home since day one. Saturday we have 7 classes live. You're stuck with me. We get to have fun. Now I'd like to block anything that might be on hurting your report and build you up some credit. Normally $9.98, but today you get half price off. You go to the class at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time too on Saturday, called Education Analyzation. Nothing goes past 180 days. Average case is 90 working days. Next, I'm always going to get you a $1,000 cash card. I want you to reimburse yourself by 1, by 2. Bottom line, if you did it during the webinar, now, you get it for $4.99. Ultimate goal is pretty simple to do. Now, the hackers are hacking credit cards and credit bureaus, and the companies are being blackmailed on their data too. So what are we going to use? We're going to use Zelle. Zelle's not hackable. You see, in other words, it's the safest way to transfer money and pay. So I'd like you to use Zelle today, or bank transfer deposit. Every Wednesday and Saturday, I do a class called Setup in Level 1. How to set up the corp, how to name it, what state to pick to. Then from there, Level 1, how to set up the division step by step, how to buy at wholesale price too. It's on Wednesday or Saturday. You can go to either one or both for 90 working days. It's part of the program when it comes into a corporate package. You have a corp, I'll build that one. If not, okay, I'll give you one for free. Yeah, articles are free for 43 years. So all states give them for free anyway. I know Mark paid $3,700 for a corp and a stock kit. He asked me what to do next. He said, go get your damn money back. Credit rebuilding, rapid score, articles, oscillus tax ID, setup level 1. 90 days playing with me as I teach you how to play. I'm also going to give you $10,000 of cash credit. Ultimate goal is simple. The office sells this for $2,000. All right, I give you half price because you're on a live webinar with me for $9.99. You get $10,000 of credit, 10 times money back to you too. I take away all the excuses, by the way. And on top of that, you get to write it all off anyway. Millionaire in the making, same as the previous one. But this comes at $25,000 of cash credit. Office sells it for $5,000. Half price, $2,499. So you decide if you want $25,000 or $10,000. It's up to you what your budget is today. You Zelle, bank transfer deposit. That's all you got to do. Now, I'd like you to run your life through a corporation. All right, but do what you want. You know, work in conjunction too if you want to, but that's up to you. You're a grown-up. See, step number 16. Ultimate goal, let's be winning that battle. Choice, pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. Dead all says taxes. So what do you do today? Pretty simple. You get a paycheck. It's taxed before you get the leftover. The leftover, you pay in the car payment, gas registration, insurance. Why don't you say no, please? You can be driving a company car if you want to. But again, this is up to you, called number 17. I told you I'm going to repackage your whole life. Your paycheck hopefully breaks even with your house payment. Corporation gets millions and billions of dollars and writes it all off too, because you're allowed to. It's called winning the battle. Your choice is simple as we play. Now, I'd like you to verify I'm factually verifiable today. I'd like you to get an SS4. SS4 times 4 equals 1120. Line 10 there says banking and credit purposes. So this is the IRS public record. So remember, step number 18. All right, we get to go to irs.gov and download an SS4 form. That's right, because we don't want to keep being a duck. Quack, 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 quack. Winning the battle too. The balancing of you. Now, the United States of America I love dearly, but I master rules and tools. So the United States of America Incorporated set up 50 states. They're all corporations. That's called the line of defense, but you haven't done it for you. States set up the cities. The cities are corporations too. So they planned the problem like I told you to by creating a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. They get to wipe out the debt of what a city has and stay in business today too. Why haven't you set up your line of defense for you? I don't understand. You are we the people, by the way. Constitution are right. As long as you're trying, you're not dying. If you're not trying, you must be dead. Your choice is simple. Winning the battle again, too. You see, Nixon took the gold standard out. Ever since then, hospitals are federally mandated that every woman who delivers a baby within 3 hours or less is handed an SSN form. I know the baby's going to walk out of the hospital and get a job. Nope, they got to bond the baby up to $35 million apiece and print some more money. Mama don't sign the form, Baby can't go in the stroller, the car seat cannot go home. Now online you're going to see some websites. You don't need to guarantee. Talk about BS. Let's understand. All right, simple. 8 cards per division, cash. 9 lines of credit, 2. Supply credit, vendor credit, marketing credit, lease credit, gas cards, 2. At the end of the day, I got to make you the greatest CFO you can be. The bottom line is, if you look at the trade line crap, please don't. Look at the Fair Lending Act before you do. Because what's going to happen is I don't want to visit you in prison. Remember, corporate credit, write off the interest rate, the credit card line of credit. As you grow the business, write it all off. Division screws up, write that off too. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And then you get to play with me for 90 days too. What an extra bonus for you. But again, I'm going to make you the qualified CFO you need to be. Remember, winning the battle. Now, when you bought your house, you did use Ray's rules, right? Escrow, close, homestead, put it in a trust. Oh, you didn't do that? So when they sue you, they take it away? When you die, it's stuck in your probate and your family got diddly squat because you're not paying attention to me today? Okay. Remember, I told you to plan the problem. So all of a sudden, you know what happens when you fix up a property? You hire a contractor that hires a subcontractor that's down outside Home Depot. Good workers. What if they slip, fall, and cut corners and sue you and take everything you got today too? Well, you could if you want to. Maybe quickly deed it to a division. How about an assignment of equity? So at the end of the day, you want to make sure you at least try to get diddly squat. Why not? Oh well. I like an irrevocable trust. But pick what you want. You're a grown-up today too. You got choices. Step number 19. You see, some people are playing peekaboo, the IRS making a mess. You know, I don't want to pay tax. Excuse me. Corporations don't pay tax until you make a profit. So if you hypothetically did that before, go to irs.gov, download a form called 656 433A and B. Get all that free money they're passing out, get your butt back in the system starting today. Remember, that's step number 20. So the goal is this. When you fix up a property, why would you use your money when you don't have to? You can set up the divisions and buy at wholesale price up to 70%. Don't pay a bill for 30 to 60, 90 days anyway. Let's use their money, fix it up. The property, escrow closes, it pays off the debt. Now you got up to $200,000 left over. What are you going to do? You going to piss it away again? Or are you going to listen to me and write down Ray's rules? Leveraging money. Borrow money is not taxable. Set up the line of defense. See it, believe it, go get it. This is step number 21. Blackjack. You see, you got choices today. Sorry, you used thousands of dollars to do something that didn't work. Now you're going to be stuck with me. At least 90 days, please. You see, borrowed money's not what? Taxable? We get to play. Winning that battle starting today. The Reynolds University, my building before the coma, before I got to die, only 22,000 square foot building, Irvine Spectrum. The bank would be out there almost every other day going, Banks love to kiss your ass. That's when you got money. When you don't have a pot, you know what? They don't know your name. So let's do this. Banks borrow from the feds up to times 10, loan back 5 to us. If we took that money out of the escrow, all right, and we leveraged it, raised rules, that would create up to $3 million in borrowed money. Non-taxable. We'd go buy McDonald's, would we not too? You see, your choice is this. At the setup class in level 1, I want to set up the line of defense with you. I want your divisions to become the ducks versus you or the corporation too. If banks, grocery stores, cities can do this, rich and famous people, we're going to write down the 3-step. You ready to write it down? Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. Can't save the peace. What are we going to do? Boo-hoo-hoo. No. We might have to bankrupt the bad piece, but keep the good pieces. But we don't bring the pain home ever again. Ultimate goal. So what I set up for you is simple. Divisions and tax IDs. Eventually, we'll turn them into subsidiaries once we get past the million. Not hard to do. Step number 22. Ultimate goal today. Ask yourself another question when you look in the mirror today, please. What are you willing to lose? What are you willing to lose? Have you been bringing the pain home? They sue the corp, they pierce the veil after you. Divisions are cheap. I want world peace. I want nothing to go wrong. But if one went wrong, it'd be a division. That way I can go get another piece or two, again and again too. If rich and famous people can do this, I can do it too. We play the game of chess. We're going to lose a piece or two. But the winners always get checkmate. Isn't it time you get a checkmate every time too? Ultimate goal number 23. God's using me today. I pray these are turned on. All right? Don't feel the pain. Don't go in the wrong direction and use Ray's rules and tools. All right? You can use the tools that God gave me to give you. Ultimate goal. The car building, the Reynolds University, reaching the dream. Think and be the impossible. I've done it all my life. Isn't it your turn to play? Because I make millionaires every day. Would you like to be next? Let me know. The 14th Amendment of the Constitution, or the amendment, turned people into corporations. So the United States of America sets up 50 states corporations, and the states set up the cities corporations too. Line of defense, and you're late setting up your line of defense for you? It's about time, don't you think? But again, that's up to you if you want to be winning the battle. Your choices are simple. Never have joint credit. Buy a house, escrow, close, homestead, put it in a trust. Corporation always have up to $1 million of credit. It's half the fun. From there, we set up divisions because they're cheap per property, per franchise. Current business too. Set up the line of defense. So you use Ray's rules. You can master the rules and tools as well too. Step number 24. One more to go. I like to block anything, build you up and add history. I like to basically make sure the pain goes away, and we rebuild you no matter if you have a 487, a 586, start with a 480, a 571. They still get credit in the beginning, middle, or end. Today it's usually $9.98. But you get a discount today because you're on the live webinar with me. So 180 days, no more than that, unless you screw up on you. You're guaranteed a $1,000 card, minimum, by the way. That way you can reimburse yourself or get twice your money back too. No more excuses. During the webinar, it's $4.99 if you sell it right away. Ultimate goal, hackers are hacking credit cards, credit bureaus, and they're blackmailing companies and ransoming their data too. What's secure? Zelle can't be hacked. Safest way to pay a bill or transfer funds right away. And that way you get expedited too. Zelle, bank transfer deposit. Set up class on Saturday and Wednesday in level 1, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Either one or both for 90 days. You're stuck with me. You're kind of fun. Starter package for a millionaire. Credit rebuilding, rapid score articles, also has tax ID set up in level 1 for 90 days. You get $10,000 of credit. Normally $2,000. But with me on webinar now, you get half price of $9.99. That's all you got to do. Millionaire in the making. Same as the previous, but it comes with $25,000 of cash credit. Instead of $5,000, it's $2,499 to you. Decide you want $25,000 or $10,000. Either way, you're stuck with me. I get to play with you. It's Zelle, bank transfer deposit. Ultimate goal, let's repackage you. Your house, your car, your bank account, please. Let's make sure you never bring the pain home ever again. So here's your last and final chance today. It's up to you too. Block the stuff, rebuild it. Half price is $4.99 and a Visa card back to you. No case goes past 180 days. $4.99, it's a giveaway. But you Zelle right away. Starter package for a millionaire. Credit rebuilding, rapid scoring articles, also has tax ID set up level 1. And you get $10,000 of cash credit. And it's half price of $999 to you. You get 10 times your money back, and this is all yours. Millionaire in the making. Comes with $25,000 of credit. Usually $5,000. But half price today is $2,499. You get $25,000 of cash credit. 10 times back to you again. And all you got to do is Zelle. See, we got to stay safe and strong today. That's what we got to do. We got to do our best no matter what. And we got to make sure one thing. All right? It's simple. We do our best, and Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. The ultimate goal is up to you. Okay? Ultimate goal. All right? So what happens is very simple. At the end of the day, your choice is if you want to play with me for 90 working days, it's step number 25. The ultimate goal, the sales team made an agreement with me. They'll actually waive their commission for 5 minutes after the webinar. So what that means is anything I offered today, they're going to give it to you right away too, at the same price, and all the goodies too. But write down the phone number, please. All right, it's very simple. It is 800, it's a toll-free number, 510, all right, 3338. That's 800, 510, 3338. See, all through the day we have to do our best. All right, no matter what I say or do, we got to do our best, because we have to do our best while Jesus does the rest. And always remember, it's very simple to understand. See, at the end of the day, God loves us all.